Hello and welcome back to my channel. It's Ijoma here, and in today's video we're going to learn how to make this beautiful dress with a net. Okay, now for this dress I bought 8 yards of net, but if you want it to be this full you should buy from 10 yards upwards. But I am a slim person, so 8 yards is not bad. I have my Ankara fabric and I have an underlining. So for my underlining I'll be using a doll face. I don't want to use the shiny area of the doll face. I will use the back part. Okay, now the first thing that we are drafting is the princess dart. This bustier is a princess dart bustier and I don't want to pad it, but if you want to pad your own princess dart you can go ahead and pad it. My bust point is 10.5, my under bust is 14, my half length is 17, so 2 inches above my bust point should be my chest line. So my bust point is 10 and a half, 2 inches above it is 8.5, and that's why I made 8.5 my chest line. Okay, now after doing that you go ahead and rule all your lines. Sorry, this particular video is the cutting video. The sewing video will come in a separate video so that it will not be so boring and long. Now after doing this, the next thing is to label the chest line, the bust point, the under bust, the half length, and the allowance. I added 2 inches allowance. I like adding 2 inches allowance to my full length. Now the next thing that we are going to do is to mark our nipple to nipple. I have a lot of princess dart tutorials already, but let me run a recap so that many of us will follow up. Now I have marked my shoulder. From my shoulder I will connect down to my chest line. My shoulder is 7.5. Then for the neckline I am using 3 by 3.5. The width is 3 inches, the depth is 3.5, and I will connect. It will be like a turtle round neckline. Okay, now for the shoulder slant I used 1 inch for the shoulder slant and I slanted. The next thing is to find the midpoint of my armhole. So from my shoulder to my chest line is 8.5, the midpoint is 4.25, and I connected. Now at the bust point my nipple to nipple is 8. I marked 4 is on fold. 8 divided by 2 is 4 on fold, and I will extend the straight line down to my full length, and from the bust point I will also connect to my armhole. Then on the center piece I will take out half an inch, and I'll mark. After taking out the half an inch, I'll connect it to the bust point. From the under bust down is half an inch, then from there you connect to the bust point. Then from the under bust also I will mark 1 inch, and the reason why I'm marking 1 inch is because I'm not padding this bust here. So from the under bust I'll also connect to my bust point. Then at the armhole I'll take away 1.5 for the armhole dart. This is a princess dart, so I'm trying my best to like contour all the areas. Then I'll extend it by like 2 inches. You can see that I extended that part by like 2 inches so that it will merge the other side when joining. Now I took out 1.5 from the under bust down. At the armhole I took out 1.5, and I'll go ahead and cut out my center piece first of all. That is how I take my body measurement, and it works perfectly all the time. Now I'll cut out my neckline, I'll cut out the shoulder slants, and I will cut out the under bust dart. After cutting out the under bust dart, I will also cut off my armhole dart. You can see what I'm doing right there. So after doing this, the next thing that I'm going to do is to place my center piece in a way that it will cover the dart. Like I want to close my dart on paper. I have closed my dart on paper right now, and I'll take my body measurements. My bust is 36 divided by 4, that is 8, plus 2 inches seam allowance I marked. My waist is 30 divided by 4 plus 2 inches seam allowance. I'm adding my 2 inches seam allowance on this paper. Then after doing that, I'll go ahead and connect. Now after connecting, I will cut it out. Now I'll also show you guys how to cut out the back of a princess dart bustier. You know, normally our front is bigger than our back because of our bust, right? So now I'll cut out that paper, and using the front paper I'll cut out the back. Okay, now this is the paper that I want to use to cut out the back of this bodice, okay, of this bustier. I'll place the center front paper first of all. After placing it, I will add like extra 2 inches for zipper allowance because we are trying to cut out the back of this bustier. Okay, you will add 2 inches for zipper allowance. Then you will place that center piece to stay on that zipper allowance line, and you will cut out whatever you have on the center piece on the back piece. So that is how I cut out my back princess dart, and it works perfectly. Now I'll cut my shoulder slant, and for my neckline I made the back neckline 2 inches. Then I'll label my zipper allowance. This place that I am labeling right now is my zipper allowance, and I'll keep it aside. We are done with the center back. Over to the side back, you can see the area where I cut out the half length of the center back. I'll place it there, and I will cut out my side back. So the only difference between the front and the back is that the back will not have these breast cuts. You can see it does not have any breast cuts. Just follow the line that the center back left, and then cut out your back. That is the easiest way that I do this. I don't know if you understand what I did, but that is the easy way to follow this princess dart. You don't need to start measurements all over. Now from my bust point, I came down by 1 inch for my side dart, and I'll cut off this side dart. After cutting out the side dart, I'll go ahead and close it with my masking tape. I'll use my masking tape to close my side dart. And like I said, I will not be padding this particular dress. Okay, so now over to the skirt area. This dress has a half length. Now my half length is 17. I'll take away 17 from the top of the paper, and then I'll mark my hip line. My hip line is 27. Then the full length where I want this Ankara to stop at for now is 33. So this line is my hip line. This one is the full length for now. I said for now. I will still do the scallop design thing on it. So this is the hip line. This is the full length of the Ankara part. So from the Ankara part, the net part will continue. Now the next thing is to divide your hip by 4 plus extra 2 inches seam allowance. Your waist divided by 4 plus extra 2 inches seam allowance. Then you connect from your waist to your hip. After connecting from your waist to your hip, you connect it, you give it a little A-line shape to the full length. Okay, now this is what we have. We are still going to do the scallop design, like the U design on it, but for now this is where we will stop at. The next thing that we are going to do is to cut out the back. The difference between the front and the back is just the zipper allowance, right? So you will have to add zipper allowance, 2 inches zipper allowance. So I'll mark out my zipper allowance line, and I'll also label my zipper allowance. Now we are done with the drafting of the Ankara part of this gown, the bustier and the Ankara skirt area. The next thing that we are going to cut out should be our net. And like I said, if you want your net to be very full, your net should be 8 inches. It should be up to 8 inches, 10 inches upwards. Now this is the whole of the 8 inches. I'll go ahead and fold it once. I don't want it to have so many joining. I'll have to fold it once from the selvage area, like from the hem of this net, from the selvage. I will fold it once. So I folded the whole of the 8 inches, and this is what I have after folding the whole of these 8 inches of this net, of this particular net that I did right here. Now the next thing that I'm going to do is to subtract where my Ankara stopped at. My Ankara stopped at 33 inches, right? So if the full length of this dress, you want to make it, let's say 54, you subtract that 33 from 54, and you should have 21 inches, right? So now the length of this net should be up to 21, but I made it 30 inches. I want the length of this net to be very long because I'm still going to do some trimming. So I will make the length of my net 30 inches so that when I do my gathers, I will trim. I will do some trimming on this dress, of course. Now I'll make it 33 inches, right? So this is the second net, and it is somehow shorter than the first one, but I will use it anyway because I'll still do some trimming. So at the end of the day, I'll trim. Now the next thing that we are going to do is to cut out our lining. You know, this last net part should have a line. After gathering your net, you also cut out a lining for that net. You cannot wear only this net. You will need to add a lining to it. Okay, now the next thing that we are going to do is to cut out the lining, that is the doll face. But before we do that, this is the Ankara that we are working with, and I will start cutting out my center piece, my side pieces, the back parts, the skirts. And while cutting this, I'm not adding any allowance because I've already added allowance to my paper when I was cutting my paper. So this is the front of the skirt, this is the second one, and all these pieces that we are cutting, we must add lining to it. Though you can sew this without a lining, but you should add lining to it. Okay, now after doing this, I'll cut out the back. I'll cut out the back. Now these are my front pieces. I'll go ahead and cut out the front pieces. This is for the princess dart, and you can see that around the dart line I am adding half an inch around the dart line. Okay, half an inch around the dart line. Now this one is for the side of the front, and you can see after cutting I'll also add half an inch around the dart line. And like I said, I will not pad this dress. The only thing that I will do is to add my interface to it. Then this one is for the back. I'll place my center back and I'll cut. Now for this particular dress, if you want to give it any type of neckline you want, you can give it, you can do that. If you want to give the skirt part any length you want, you can do that also. You're not limited to anything. Now this particular one is for the for the side of the back, and when cutting also add half an inch. Now we are done cutting. I'll go ahead and cut out a lining for all of them. For all the pieces, we will turn all of them with a lining. So guys, if you want to see the sewing part of this video, please do not forget to subscribe. Do not forget to subscribe and click on the notification bell. Notification bell is very important so that whenever I upload the sewing video, you will be the first to get notified. Now this one is the lining. Okay, I am done cutting out the net, so this one is the lining, and I have 2 yards of doll face here. What I'm going to do is that I will fold this doll face into 2. I'll fold it into 2. I will just divide this doll face into 2 so that if I join it, I will have a very long piece. So this is where we are going to stop at for today, and I want to remind us the registration for our online classes is ongoing. You have over 15 online classes, so if you want to register for any of them, do well to send us a DM. I'll drop our WhatsApp in the comment section so that you can send us a DM on WhatsApp. And also we'll be launching our mobile app. The name of the app is Sew with Ijoma. So on that mobile app, that is where we will be taking all our online classes. Your online classes will be safe, very safe. Now this is how we are going to make these gathers. You will just place the nets on top and you will make your gathers. Okay, so I'm trying to check how good it will look, and of course it looks good. So guys, see you all in my next video. I am Ijoma. I love you all. Bye.